I'm Dorothy, and my website is let'seatmalaysian.com. Now today is my first video of how to cook, and so I'll be teaching you how to cook the simplest dish that I know, which is fried Mee Hoon or fried rice vermicelli. Now what I've done here is I have soaked 3 bundles of rice vermicelli, and you can use it with cold water. Soak it until it is sort of supple, as you can see. And what you do is you have to cut it into small strips so that it's easier to fry with your scissors. Not too fine. And then you strain it. Now the ingredients I'm going to use for today is 3 bundles of rice vermicelli, which is already soaked and cut, cabbage, 3 leaves of cabbage. Make sure you cut off the center so that you won't get hard bits in your noodles. I've got 4 large banana prawns that has been shelled. Well, you can take off the gritty parts in it, slice in half, slice it finely chopped, and I've put a little bit of sugar in it to sweeten it. Most Chinese dishes, that is what you do for most of the cooking. I've got 2 brown onions that has been diced, and this is yummy. This is what I call the naughty bits, and this is actually the lard that I normally take from pork loin. You get it because it's a hard piece of lard, and you chop it in small little bits. Now in here I have 100 grams. I've got a bit of prawn stock. It's from No's prawn cubes, which you can get from Asian shops. And I've got 4 pips of garlic that I've roughly chopped up. Here I have 180 grams of pork that I've sliced thinly, and there's been a bit of corn flour, some soy sauce, and a little sugar to marinate it for a while. Okay, now the first thing we do is light our fire and cook up the lard. Lower the fire, because when your fire is too high, it's going to burn the lard before the oil can seep out. So use a small fire to slowly brown the lard. Now I'll put about half a teaspoon. Pink salt. I call this pink salt, but it is actually Himalayan salt. What I find is that Himalayan salt brings out better flavor in cooking than to put just white salt. Now this is what you want to get. Nicely browned. Pork lard was very nice. Pork lard should be nicely browned, and there's sufficient oil. And put the pork lard in a little bowl. And this will be topped with your noodles once it is done, and you mix it in. The first thing you do is you put in your garlic. You're going to brown your garlic and your chicken stock. Here I've only put in about a 1/4 cube of chicken stock. Fire medium to small. You don't want a big fire because it will burn your garlic. Okay, you can see that the garlic is brown. you add in your onion and fry it till it is not too soft but transparent enough. And meantime, you add some salt and sugar. In this case, you'll be using about 2/8 teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of sugar. That'll be do. Now once your garlic and onion is fragrant, and it is, you can see it is slightly transparent, you can then put in your pork. We always put the pork, the prawns in later and let your pork cook well. Corn flour that has been added is to let the pork meat become nice and soft, and if not you will probably have very dry meat. So it helps to tenderize the meat instead of using a pork tenderizer. And I usually recommend to use corn flour instead of using sodium bicarb, because sodium bicarb has a very funny flavor. Now this is partly cooked. You add in your prawns. Now you put your cabbage. Over the fire, it is a bit high. Normally I would say you cook this for about 5 minutes roughly. Then you start to add your sauce. Lower your fire to a small fire, and then you add your soya sauce, your dark soya sauce, and your oyster sauce. This is the oyster sauce. A little soya sauce, maybe 1/8 or 1/8 of teaspoon, and dark caramel sauce. Now this dark caramel sauce is a very thick one. This is not sweet caramel sauce, this is Chinese dark caramel sauce, which you're going to put the, okay? So this is sweet dark caramel sauce. Raise your fire to a bit medium and you cook. Now the saltiness of the dish will depend on each individual taste, okay? If you like it more salty, you add a bit more salt. But always test your dish before you bring the whole dish up. Okay? So now you're going to put your noodles in. And while you mix, lower the fire again.
Something just went click over there.
3 dashes sort of. 3 dashes of MSG, and you mix it in, and then it's almost done now, but use your fork and give it a bit of tasting to see whether you like it salty or whether there's enough flavor. If it's not salty enough, I usually add soy sauce instead of just salt. I think it needs a little bit of soy sauce. A bit more. Okay. Okay, it's almost done and it is up to my taste. I like it this way. So the last bit is you put in your crunchy bits and you stir it in. You can see the noodle is more or less dry. You don't see the sauce anywhere, but it's not too dry that it sticks. And what I'm using here is of course a non-stick pan. Okay, this is the consistency you will be looking for. Noodles that are not too hard, cabbage that is still a little crunchy, and there you go, your noodles are done.